What's up, Tipsies? This is Twyla's Tipsy Travels, The Bachelorette, Round, Brown, and Abroad edition. Okay, so the dating has already begun, and I'm only day 3 in. I got here on Tuesday. Today is Friday, so third full day in. I got on Tinder and I tweaked my profile pretty quickly when I got here, but I was thinking nothing's gonna happen, and it took a minute for any traction to go. I mean, and by a minute it's like a day. But still, in Scotland it felt like it was like bam. So I was just like, maybe they won't like me here in Portugal. And yeah. So I start talking to a guy. We don't have a nickname for him yet. I told him about my YouTube channel, and I gave him full disclosure. And so he's trying to come up with a nickname for himself. You know how I like to give the guys nicknames? He's trying to come up with a nickname for himself. So I don't have a nickname for him yet. But I started talking to him, and he's from Slovakia, but has been living in Prague for quite some time, in the Czech Republic. And the bantering was fantastic. And so we're just like, okay, let's go on a date. Let's go on a date today. He was like anxious because he's leaving in a week. So then as like I'm ready to go on my date, and I'm just waiting for him to get to the bar that's like right behind my building. And while I'm waiting for him, I've been talking to another guy and set up a date with him. And he's a native of the island. I set up a date with him for tomorrow. And then as I'm starting to talk to another guy who is Portuguese, I don't know if he's from this island. I haven't found that out yet, but now he wants to meet. And him already, he's either going to be called Big Smooth, Big Sexy, or Big Tasty. I don't know. And that name is always subject to change if things don't go quite how I would like. But anyway, so I went on a date with this other guy that we have yet to be named, and it was fantastic. He looked just like he did in the picture. He's super tall. Like, he has to be around 6'4", has to be. Slender, broad-shouldered, brown hair, brown eyes, with a nice beard, and just a sweet face, and just a gentleman. First of all, I forgot how poppin', how lit it is for BBBW women in Europe. And that's big, beautiful, black women in Europe. Oh my God, I forgot. So anyway, we walked and talked for quite some time. We were trying to decide where to eat, but then I didn't know what I wanted to eat in this like row of restaurants. And so we just decided to keep walking until finally I was hungry and ready to pick. And we walked up some stairs, and I'm just a very large set of stairs, and I'm just like, okay, if I'm huffing and puffing at the end, don't say nothing. So we walked up, everything was great. And then when we were walking back, we were walking down the other side, he held my hand to make sure, that I, didn't tumble down. And so that was very sweet. And then we picked a restaurant, and it was outside on like a sidewalk. And he pulled out my chair for me and then pushed it in as I sat. Like, I'm not sure that's ever happened before. I don't know. Like in Scotland, I had a lot of gentlemen, you know, but I'm not so sure that I've had that before. It was lovely. I was like, oh, so sweet. So, I don't know. He was very funny, very, very charming. Great accent, even though a lot of things I didn't understand. I'm like, come again? What was that? but still, great accent. And we just bantered back and forth, just like we did online. We were bantering back and forth online, bantering back and forth face to face, and just jokes and things. But I do feel like there were moments that, you know, he would give me a look. It was very intense, and then I'd, you know, like laugh it off because I'm awkward, and I, you know, just moments I get super awkward, especially just meeting someone. And then after that, we walked through this other little park that's just beautiful with trees from, I think, all over the world, trees and plant life or whatever. And then we walked back to my part of my little neighborhood, and he gave me a hug. And I didn't know, like, do I kiss him? Do I not? We're wearing masks. What do I do? I don't know. And so it was just a hug. And then I, you know, messaged him after and was just like, yeah, I didn't know whether to kiss you or not. But, and I didn't know if you wanted to kiss me. I'm like, but, you know, I wanted to or whatever. And he's just like, oh, I was just trying to be, you know, polite. He wasn't trying to push me, which I'm just like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm like, I so appreciate that. And he's just like, okay, so next time I'll kiss you. And I'm just like, yes, please do that. Because he is a cutie pie. So, yeah, that's that guy. And as of right now, right now his nickname is Cutie Patootie. Because he's just adorable. Or the gentleman. I don't know. He could be the gentleman. The gentleman. A Slovakian and a gentleman. Instead of an officer and a gentleman. I don't know. But, okay. That was that. And I'm so mad because I had my face all done up. Looking all cute. I could have done the video with my face all done. But I forgot. Because I just got in the house and was just like, rip the mask off, you know, like everybody says, like you just had a disappointing surgery on Grey's Anatomy. I just ripped it off, and then I was like, I'm sticky and hot. Just got it all off, so I'm just like, man, that was all cute. Anyway, it was a great date, and we are supposed to meet up again sometime during the week. He's a hiker, and while I have appreciated a good hike here and there, I've hiked in California, I hiked in Arizona, and nearly died, but also enjoyed them. But the mountains here, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So he's going hiking with friends over the weekend, and then he works, you know, during the day, during the week, and so remotely, and so I will be seeing him hopefully sometime during the evenings this coming week before he leaves on Friday to go to another part of the islands of Madeira or whatever. Super sad. But anyway, that's that, and I will of course keep you ladies and guys, if you're watching, updated. I just forgot. I forgot how nice it was. And it's so nice when you're ignored to have men interested, genuinely interested. It's so nice. Like, I left in Scotland. I went on 25 dates with 15 men. Like, you know, obviously a few of them I went on multiple dates with. But yeah, 25 dates with 15 men. And off of 2 apps, mostly just Tinder. It was Tinder and Bumble, but most of my dates came off of Tinder. And most of those dates were probably within 2 months. Or at least most of the guys those 15 guys, most of them were in 2 months, like July and August. When I got back from Scotland and I tried dating in the US again, I added, I stacked my bets, or whatever you want to call it. I don't gamble, so I don't know what it's called. But anyway, I stacked my bets and I added like 3 more dating apps. I added Plenty of Fish, I don't even remember what the other ones were, Hinge, and something else. OkCupid. That's it. I added those 3. And I went on 0 dates. And I did it for about 2-3 months. And I went on 0 dates. And kept getting douchebags. Not one time in Scotland did I get an unsolicited D-pic. Not one time. Now, mind you, sometimes they were solicited. I asked for it. but never did I get an unsolicited. Yeah, I had only been on the dating apps for like a week or so, maybe. It may have been days. And I had somebody like, let's exchange numbers. And we exchanged numbers. And like, I was trying to have a general conversation. And in the middle of just a random conversation, boop, there it is. I'm like, really, dude? And he's like, I'm just so excited to meet you. Like, well, you're never going to meet me now. So, it was just awful. I didn't go on one date and I just gave up. I'm like, bump this. I'm not doing this. And so I get back to Europe. I'm on the thing for a couple days, and boom, I go on a date with a gentleman. And the other guy that I'm going on a date with tomorrow also seems like a gentleman. And he's never been on a date via Tinder before, so that should be interesting. I'm like, well, the pressure's on me now. Hopefully I won't ruin your hopes and dreams. But yeah, it's just like, So it's so nice to be back where, you're appreciated and treated nicely, and, you don't have to be a tiny little thing. I mean, I'm tiny height-wise, but you don't have to be a tiny little thing, to get a date, and to be appreciated. But that's that. It was a great time, and I hope to report back with more. I hope everything pans out and all these dates continue to happen, because I'm super excited. It has been a minute. So that's that, and it is official that Mr. helping me pick out his own nickname, we're calling him the Gentleman, because obviously he really was. So he is the Gentleman now. And also, after the date, we chatted back and forth for quite a while before sleep, all, the stuff that you miss out on sometimes. You're just like, oh, I miss that. So yeah, doing a little texting at night, and we are supposed to see each other at some point this week. But also I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention that on the date, as we're walking along, I'm wearing a mask. We're both wearing our masks, and everybody kept staring at me. And not in a real rude way, but maybe a curious way. And I was like, what? Why is everybody staring at me? And like there was a white couple in front of us, and that were walking along through this market, and I was telling the gentleman about how my Airbnb host said that he said to check out the market because it's like a historical site, but not to buy anything there because they will upcharge foreigners. And the couple in front just kept like turning back to look at me, and were smiling like they wanted to, engage in the conversation. But yeah, I had noticed that everywhere I go, that old people stare at me. But I didn't really know what was going on this day because it was young, old, girls, men, whatever, all staring at me. And my mom was just like, well, maybe it's because you are loud. And while, yeah, that could be part of it, but I don't know, like maybe my boisterous laughter, or maybe I'm radiating joy. Maybe it's because I'm radiating joy and people were noticing. I don't know, but it's quite interesting. So yeah, I just had to add that little part. As always, I love you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as well as hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell for the notifications so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, love you guys. Bye.